welcome to Golf Weekly. As you can see, we are here, actually out of the studio today at the beautiful Palmetto Hall Plantation. We've got this magnificent clubhouse behind us, and I am joined by my two esteemed colleagues, Chris Hendrix with the Golf Store Outlet. Chris,
good to see you, Daniel.
Good to see you. Chris Tremblay, my partner in crime.
Always nice to be here, Daniel.
Island Golf School, JPGA. And guys, we got a lot to talk about. We're going to start doing, as we've been doing for some weeks now, our week in review. And man, I'm going to tell you, this is a smorgasbord of good golf stuff if you're into the FedEx Cup. Chris, what's going on?
Well, needless to say, we're taking a week off this week as far as the FedEx Cup play goes. They have a week off, but when they resume September 20th through the 23rd at Eastlake, the 5 players that hold their own fate in their hands are Rory McIlroy, Tiger Woods, Nick Watney, Phil Mickelson, and Brandt Snedeker, which means if any of them win that event, they win the FedEx Cup. The biggest jump was made this past week by Phil Mickelson, who played his way into the top 5 with a second place finish at the BMW, knocking Louis Oosthuizen down to 6th. Now, that doesn't mean that anybody that's lower than 5th can't win, but the way the points are done, they have to fall a certain way based on how the top 5 finish for anybody lower than 5th to win the FedEx Cup.
Right, and I got to say, you know, with the tweaking that they've done to this playoff system, it's been far more compelling. What they did was a drastic improvement over what we've seen in past years, because if you look at these last few weeks, I mean, this leaderboard arguably at the BMW this weekend was one of the most star-studded.
Oh yeah, all the major guys running.
All the top, and you really see, you know, at this time of year, when it's really time to show that separation, it does seem that there is an elite group, maybe 10 or 12 guys in the world that all seem to rise to the top. Yeah.
Well, if you look at, you know, who finished in the top 6 this past week, Rory McIlroy obviously won, another 1.4 million.
Yep.
Ho-hum.
3 of the last 4 he's now won.
Yeah.
For a total of 54 under par in those 4
rounds.
tournaments.
Well, he made the comment that he wanted to carry home all the trophies from that the last couple of wins all the way to the FedEx. He said that'd be the goal, was just to win them all the way through the series, and he's on a good little run.
Well,
yeah,
like you said, the cream rises to the top, and you know, Rory came in first. Phil Mickelson and Lee Westwood tied for second. Tying for 4th was Tiger and Robert Garrigus, who Robert Garrigus plays in the Heritage every year. Mm-hmm. And tied for 6th was Dustin Johnson and Adam Scott. And you know, what more could you ask for out of a Sunday leaderboard than those, you know, names right there?
That's some firepower. And I think it's noteworthy to say our former champion here at the Heritage, Brandt Snedeker, in our top 5 has got a great shot to take this home.
He does.
And was a recent Ryder Cup pick.
Yep.
Guys, real quick, what do you make of this this interesting sort of relationship that's budding between the 36-year-old Tiger Woods and the 23-year-old Rory McIlroy? I've never seen Tiger
chum up to somebody.
Chum up to, warm up to, doing co-interviews with another player, period, let alone one that seems to be at his level, if not maybe at a little higher level than he was, well, at least at commensurate to where he was around 2000 to 2002.
Well, it's pretty obvious that he and Phil aren't going to be doing the interviews the way that he and Rory are doing them. So I think it's fun to watch. You know, you almost have a little bit of a, I'm just going to bring this up, not that this is definite, but more of a Nicholas Palmer type of thing.
I was thinking the
more
same
of a
thing.
Nicholas Watson type of thing.
That's
where,
right.
you know, finally the player who was established, Tiger, has, you know, warmed up, so to speak, to his adversary.
Right.
The guy that's
and it's making it fun for everybody. You know I enjoy watching it.
Well, you get a little mentor-protege thing going on, but listen, deep down inside, Tiger has got to be seething and churning that this guy is edging him, and Tiger's playing some of his best golf ever.
Well, you know, there's rumors floating around that when the season's over that somebody might be switching all of his contracts. Have you heard that?
Yes,
yeah.
I've heard. It seems
Rory,
to me, from what I understand.
maybe a little Nike jump.
Yeah,
they were saying, you know, Oakley's one thing, and you know, Titleist has got its players, but really, other than Rory, there's not many players that are full Titleist staff that are going up to like an Els and a Mickelson on Callaway, or a Dustin Johnson and, you know, Sergio
Adidas,
on Adidas and TaylorMade, and then your guys for Ping, Oosthuizen and Lee Westwood. And so they were just thinking.
I think you're going to see the same thing you've seen. Tiger, when he first came out on tour, was a Titleist guy.
Yes, he was.
Phil, Titleist guy.
Guy.
They both left Titleist, and I'm pretty sure it wasn't because of the equipment. I'm pretty sure it was for the dollar. Needless to say, with Nike, Phil Knight has the owner of Nike has a pretty deep checkbook, so I would venture to say there's a reasonable chance you
want to take your company
with a swoosh next year.
And you want to grow the company. Nike makes some of the best clothing, some of the best shoes, so they've cornered that market. But their downfall has always been their clubs.
Right.
They just haven't cornered that market like a Titleist or like a TaylorMade or like a Ping or like a Callaway. But you throw on there a few more of your top couple of players in the world, all of a sudden they're all doing Nike. I think Nike's going to work even harder to really build something that's more player friendly.
They're genius at marketing, that's for sure.
Exactly.
A couple other things we want to mention. We've got the ladies going to the British Open this week. We had a really interesting, we've got about 1 minute left, but the Kingsmill tournament, it was a 10-hole playoff. I had to actually go to Monday because they lost sunlight. But our American star, Paula Creamer, was right there and lost in the playoff to GHN. But she's got to be feeling good going into that event. And that tour really does need some American stars to step up to give it a little bit more, pack a little bit more punch.
I know, it was nice to see. We actually did see some Americans on TV this past weekend.
Right.
Which was actually
somebody other than
fun.
Kang, Shen, or Shu.
I saw Christy Kerr on there also, so it was great.
She was trying to make a comeback.
And you hate to make light of that, but you know that is an issue that the LPGA Tour has been dealing with. So we'd love to see us Americans start coming up on top of those leaderboards and winning some tournaments here soon. Anything you want to plug for your store real quick?
Yeah, just wanted to let everybody know that we're still running our special. Mention that you've seen this TV show, and custom set of clubs, Harrison graphite shafts. We'll even throw in the bag, $600 out the door.
Great.
And you're fitted for them as well.
And I'd like to mention that one of our stars last week that we had on as a guest, Tokes Pedro. Tokes won again this week. He won the Hurricane Junior Golf Tour event at Golden Bear. And Izzy Cavito, one of our gals who finished third 2 weeks ago, came in second this week. So one more tournament, Izzy, and you'll be up to the top. So I'd like to congratulate those
Keep it up, Tokes. Keep ripping it, making them birdies. Guys, that's all the time we have for this segment. When we come back, we're going to be joined with a Palmetto Hall member that's going to talk about some of the programs they offer here and some of the amenities. We'll be right back.